LE, the longest map in the current pool. Let's see what we can get done, or what these players can get done, rather, as in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player coming down to represent Pakistan. Gonna be playing for Team Red Dragons. We have TeebuL.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, going for a pool first, we have the Filipino Zerg player representing Liab Esports. It is EnDerr.
There is no strategy or build that EnDerr will not pull out at least once in a tournament, is there, Light?
Nope.
And that's why we call him the general. That's why we call him the tactician. He will try sand just about everything, and we are looking in onto a PvZ right now, and that's actually really interesting for me, Light, as when it comes to TeebuL, on that spawning pool.
Yeah, he's just droning up, getting spores in all his bases, making sure he's safe. He is working on that pneumatized carapace as well, so we can get the scout off, make sure he knows, whether TeebuL, he throws down another tech structure, whether he decides to do something out of the ordinary, as at the moment, he's just kind of chilling.
I think EnDerr's just afraid of the Void Ray, honestly. He got that Overlord the heck out of there. Pneumatized carapace. Time to book it. Ooh. Double Oracle now in position right now for TeebuL, and this is enough firepower for him to start to really put the hurt in on his Zerg opponent. But only 2 drones go down. Could have been much, much worse for EnDerr. Yeah,
definitely. Only two drones go down. And the important thing is, I was wondering what he was going to throw down, and it looks like it will be that second Stargate. And it looks like EnDerr, despite the Void Ray, is going to be able to scout it.
Indeed, he will. That pneumatized carapace really working out for him, really paying off. And interestingly enough, TeebuL is going for more Void Rays, so I do have to wonder, did he scout that Roach Warren?
Oh, we do have to wonder, as so far he has not scouted any Roach Warren, especially since it did get cancelled. As we do have another Evo Chamber on the way, we do have more Lings on the way as well.
I love this from EnDerr, just completely dictating this pace of the game, forcing TeebuL to build into the Stargate army with these Void Rays, but how are they going to help at all against potential +1 Lings?
That is the question, because the Lings, they are just coming in. Looks like they're looking to try and deny this base, and TeebuL, he turns around.
He does turn around. Does not want to cancel it just yet, but will be forced to right at the end. Going to be concentrating every single one of his units here to just get rid of the Ling run by. Void Rays take a little bit of time to kill these Zerglings, but Oracles do it in a matter of seconds.
Exactly, and it's so important that essentially EnDerr, he's just keeping TeebuL back at home.
He very much so is, and here's a question I got for you, Light. You thought EnDerr was going to go out right now, and TeebuL, his +1 Sky Toss weapons, has finished up here. So we'll see if he can get a little bit done. That's a lot of queens, though, and I do see enough energy for transfuse on at least a couple of them.
Exactly. All the queens are jumping into that Nidus. The Nidus is going to be going up. We don't see any drones, so no spores are going to be thrown down across the map, but mate, he's got plenty of anti-air.
That he does. And TeebuL turns right around. He has no idea where this Nidus is, but he has a little bit of an inkling. Alright, charge about halfway down right now for TeebuL, but I don't think it's really going to come into play. Nice use of battery overcharge, but again, the transfuse from the queens. The amount of anti-air here is not quite going to be enough.
Oh yeah, there is enough here, especially with that shoe battery overcharge. With all these Void Rays, it gets pushed back, but they go straight into the main.
That they do. That was just a diversion right now from EnDerr. This is a general. This is his tactics. But now I feel like we're getting a little bit of critical mass from EnDerr. Maybe not quite yet, but against what TeebuL's got, it's got to be worrisome.
Well, yes.
You cannot engage into that many Hydras with what you have as TeebuL.
Yeah, especially because there's no stack defense. Like, the shoe batteries and the cannons were at the third base, but there's nothing here in the main.
No, there is not. Storm not even going to be researched right now. A single Archon going to come out, and that can definitely act as a little bit of a tank for TeebuL right now. Really nice feedback, just preventing any transfuse from coming up.
Exactly, and
what's so
important
is just about broken it.
Yeah, and what's so important is that we do have all the production going down here in the main base. Like, and TeebuL, he's supply blocked, he can't warp in. Like, he only has 1 active Stargate, 1 active warp gate.
And I mean, that was a decent Stasis Ward as well, but as you said, there's just no production right now for TeebuL, no supply for him, and just look at all of these Hydras making their way right on top of TeebuL's economy. They don't even have muscular augments right now. Like, they're taking their time because they know that they're going to be able to kill TeebuL.
Exactly, they're slowly leapfrogging forward, and it looks like there's just too much of GG gets called.
And EnDerr once again really showing what he's capable of. I feel like he's going to see what he's got in store for us here. On to Death Aura. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the blue Protoss player coming out to represent Pakistan. Going to be playing for Team Red Dragons. Get your roars out. I actually don't know what their tagline is. We have TeebuL.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Filipino Zerg player representing Liab Esports. He's currently up 1-0 in this best of 3. Can he make it a 2-0 and advance to the next round? We have EnDerr. He scouted the Stargate, he scouted the Robo, so he knows that there is no second Stargate, confirms the tech of TeebuL, and hey, yeah, he's good. He knows.
Yeah, it's feeling pretty good, and for now, we're just gonna wait for either one of these players to build up their armies. Again, EnDerr a little hesitant to tech in any sort of direction. There we go, there's the Rotron being thrown down at a similar timing to the lair.
Yeah,
and
again,
now that EnDerr knows... Yeah, now that EnDerr knows that TeebuL is going for the Robo facility, I can't imagine he'd cancel that and go for a fake out again, right?
No. I mean, there's no reason to at the moment. We'll see as we are nearing the, past the 5-minute mark, and there we go. EnDerr, he's going for another scout just to confirm, what the follow-up from this is for TeebuL. Meanwhile, he's being active out on the map with these Lings, looking to try and catch a couple of transferring workers, whatever damage he can.
Yeah, or a couple of Adepts, but no. EnDerr would much rather keep those Zerglings alive for map control than risk taking out just a handful of Adepts. And with that, EnDerr just about confirms everything TeebuL wants to get done. Sees the Forge coming down, so we'll know that TeebuL is building up to a timing attack. We'll see how EnDerr prepares his defenses for that. Okay, nice anti-air on the Oracles.
Yeah, so the Oracles are able to tag just to make sure. They confirm the lair, they'll confirm any other units that come out of the main. But as you were saying, EnDerr, he confirms that there is a Twilight Council, there is +1 on the way, so you can deduce that it is going to be, charge lots, but ooh, we have some Adepts going to the third. These Immortals, and all that EnDerr's going to have to defend are his Lings and his Mutas.
Yeah, honestly, without Banelings, it's kind of hard to imagine EnDerr being able to hold this, but he is jumping right on in. Mutalisk coming in for the flank. Are they going to be able to take out the Warp Prism? Focusing on the Archons at the moment, but there are a couple of Haluk ones. And EnDerr is not too sure which one's which. The Zerglings get completely evaporated, and the Muta count isn't looking too good. But now that most of the anti-air has been dealt with, EnDerr has pretty much free reign. The charge ships go right on top of the base. The Immortal really cleaning up a lot behind that too.
Yeah, like honestly, EnDerr, he's able to clean up, but not before the charge-lots deal some damage, as they were able to deal with all the Lings that were on the ground. 9 drones go down, but honestly, I feel like that's okay. Like TeebuL, he lost a lot of high-tech units there, a lot of Immortals, a lot of Archons.
Yeah, I think the big thing there for EnDerr is he did keep his 4th alive, so he's got a lot of larvae available to him. And he's kept most of his Mutalisks alive, even going for a 5th base now. So EnDerr not in a bad position whatsoever. I mean, just look at that supply lead he's got.
Yeah, definitely. The big thing, though, is that TeebuL, he's working on that transition. Oh, he has to be careful, loses Phoenix.
Yeah, this is just about the perfect decision coming out from TeebuL right now. Knows that there's not going to be any Baneling Nests out on the ground. So what is he going to focus on? Well, the biggest threat to him are these Mutalisks. And how do you deal with that? Ranged Phoenixes.
Exactly. The Fleet Beacon is done. I imagine we're going to get Aeon Pulse Crystals, and then slipping up TeebuL is, like, when you have Phoenixes, like, you can micro against these Mutas. You can, kite backwards and outrange them, but EnDerr, every single time he sees an opportunity, he pounces on them, takes them out.
That is why EnDerr is absolutely someone you want to watch. He will always just jump on these opportunities, and he will not let go until something gives. EnDerr just sharking around right now, seeing what he can get done, grouping up his reinforcements, finally getting that Baneling Nest thrown down. But I don't think he'll come into play too much here.
Yeah,
Right,
we'll
EnDerr goes
see.
in, EnDerr goes out.
He does, and you know what? We have +2 here done for these Stalkers. So we have Stalkers in conjunction with the Phoenixes and all these shield batteries. Will EnDerr be able to break this? He's looking to try and go in.
That he is. There is a battery overcharge. These are some pretty good surrounds from the Zerglings, but I don't think that's going to be enough, at least not with these overcharge out. Not too many Phoenixes out right now, but range has just completed. EnDerr's going to have a tough time dealing with those, but I feel like TeebuL just missed microing a little bit too much. Look at the Phoenix count plummet.
Oh, wow. All the Phoenixes go down. The shield batteries are focused down as well, and there's just not enough on the ground. The Lings are starting to overwhelm everything and just take out all the workers.
Indeed, they are. One Archon here that is just stuck because it is massive.